Hi friends, welcome once again. Welcome to day 2 or week 2 of our 8-week You Can Do Yoga journey. Today we're going to practice more core strength. So last week, just to review, we did a lot of the fundamental poses of yoga. We did Tadasana, mountain pose, Sukhasana, easy seat that we're in right now. We did cat-cow, and I suggested that you do that just about every day in your own practice. We also practiced the chair pose. That was a little bit challenging, a little bit more energizing. And then we finally enjoyed a lovely Shavasana. So for today's practice, we're going to start in child's pose. As you come into child's pose, just like you did last time, you can make it a really comfortable child's pose, or if you want a little bit more compression this time in the knees and the ankles, bring the knees together. So this is another variation of child's pose. Remember, either your toes can be together, your knees wide apart, you bring your forehead down to the earth, or you can bring the knees together, your ankles together, and then fold forward into your child's pose. So choose whichever you want to do. Remember, you always have the option of putting the blanket in between your knees, or sit on your blanket, sit on your heels, and then come forward. You can also always just use the blanket underneath the knees. So if you like to unroll your blanket and just rest your knees on top of the blanket, that allows for a little bit more mobility in the ankles. So you have all these options so that you can select, you can consciously choose which pose works best for your body. So as you come into whatever whatever you choose to do with your child's pose, you can either extend your arms way ahead of you, fingertips ahead, walking your fingertips away from the shoulders, let your elbows rest comfortably on the floor, or you can bring your hands behind you, palms up, let the back of your hands rest on the floor. Whatever you choose to do, I'd like you to really take your awareness to your backside. So it's really easy for us to focus on the front side of our body, since that's the size that we see most often. But please bring your awareness to the backside. In fact, the majority of your lung lives in the backside. So as you breathe, I want you to really feel the expansion in your back lungs. Feel that your breath can actually expand the space in between the shoulder blades, the space between the heart space. Inhale. Feel that expansion in the backside body. And as you exhale, feel the length of your spine all the way to your tailbone. So move through this with your own breath, right? So inhaling through the nose, feel the expansion in your backside, your lungs expanding. And as you exhale, feel and sense your breath traveling all the way to your tailbone, softening the hips, softening the knees, softening the ankles. Inhaling, feeling the back expand. Exhaling, feeling your shoulders softening, your jaws softening, your entire face. Feel it resting, your forehead resting on the floor. And one more time, please. Inhaling deep through the nostrils. Feel your backside body expanding, feeling yourself getting wider and broader in your upper back. And exhale, feeling yourself getting softer and groundedness, feeling the spine getting longer, your tailbone getting longer towards your heels. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly begin to coming back up. We're going to come back into our tabletop pose. And once again, if you remember the tabletop pose, you're stacking the joints, so your hands, your wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, and the knees are directly underneath the hips. And then let's move through 2 cat-cows with this, lifting the chest up, the tailbone goes up. And as you exhale, pull the belly in, round the back. And as you round the back, let the back of the neck become long. Let the chin tuck and the tailbone tuck. Inhaling, the chest lifts up. Tailbone lifts up, exhaling, pull the belly in, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. And one more time with your own breath. Inhale, inhale, inhale. At the top of your inhalation, your chest is lifted. Maybe at this time you like to lift the head up and exhale, exhale, exhale. Pull the belly in, round the back, round the tail, round the upper back as well as the low back. And then you're going to begin to take your right leg back behind you, right toes on the floor. So essentially, your right side body is in a plank pose and your left side is in tabletop pose. And then bring that right back knee in, and then take the left leg back behind you, left toes on the floor. So now your left side is in plank pose and your right side is in tabletop pose. And let's just do this a couple more times on each side. So the right leg goes back. When your right leg goes back, notice how the hip wants to open. Can you square the hips down? Imagine you have flashlights on your hip bones and they're both pointing down towards the earth. Bring the right knee down. Take the left leg back behind you. Tuck your left toes under. Notice how that left hip wants to lift up. Can you lower the left hip down so that those flashlights are pointing straight down? And one more time, your inhalation takes the right leg back behind you. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale, left knee up. Tuck the left toes under. And exhale, bring it in. We're going to add on to that pose. So this time, as you take the leg back behind you, begin to lift the leg straight back behind you. Now, the tendency here is to lift that hip up. Again, can you lower that right hip down? Remember those flashlights you have on your hips. Have them point directly straight down to the earth. Flex that right foot. And then can you lift through the inner leg? Lift through the inseam of that right leg. And imagine that you have a wall behind that right foot and you're pressing your right heel onto that wall. So this is phase 1. If you like to go a little bit deeper, maybe you like to begin to lift your left fingertips towards the front of the room, a little bit more challenging. And as you do, have the palm face the midline of the body. Again, energize that leg. Press back onto that imaginary wall. Reach the left fingertips forward. As you're reaching forward, soften the shoulder away from you. So imagine that you have like an X on your back, and the center of the X is your belly. Really reaching forward from the belly as your leg reaches back behind you. Exhale, lower everything down. Inhaling, taking the left leg back behind you. Left toes are tucked under. Begin to lift the left toes up. Toes are pointing down onto the floor. Your hip is rotating down towards the floor, and you're lifting through the inseam of the left leg. If you like to go a little bit deeper, you can begin to reach the right fingertips in front of you, your right palm facing the midline of the body, reaching from your belly. So instead of reaching from the shoulders, draw the shoulders down the back and reach from the belly. And extending that left leg back behind you. Imagine that wall behind the left heel and reach in both directions. Make yourself really long. Inhale. Exhaling, lower down. This is called bird dog. So we're going to do that 2 more times on each side. Inhaling, right leg goes back. Left arm comes front. Exhaling, lower. Inhaling, left leg goes back. Right arm to front. Exhaling, lower. One more time with your own breath. Inhaling, right leg goes back. Left arm to front. Exhaling, lower. Inhaling, left leg goes back. Right arm to front. and exhale, lower. Beautiful. That's called bird dog. Get back into your child's pose, please. Just pause in your child's pose for a moment. And then slowly begin to come back up. So you're coming back into your tabletop pose. Now begin to take that right leg back behind you once again. And then swivel on this left knee and begin to rotate your torso up towards the sky. So that right leg the right foot is staying on the floor. And then notice what's happening with that left shoulder. The left shoulder wants to rotate in. Can you rotate the left shoulder back behind you so that the eye of that elbow is pointing straight to the front wall? Then you can begin to inhale and reach the right fingertips straight up to the sky. Beautiful. So this is a side plank pose. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale, and then we're going to move a little bit with this move. So keep the arm exactly where it is and maybe begin to float that right leg up just a little bit. Maybe the right arm reaches above your head, inhale. And as you exhale, bring the foot down and reach the right fingertips up. So your inhalation is going to lift the right leg up, reaching the right arm overhead. And exhale, bring the right foot down and reach the fingertips up. Inhale and exhale. Good. So remember, you don't have to bring that leg up so it's parallel. That would be nice. But if you can just lift it off the ground just a little bit, you're actually engaging a lot of the muscles in your core. So one more time, please. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Last time. Inhaling, lifting that leg up, and exhaling, bringing it all the way back down. Bringing the right hand down, right knee down, and then we're going to switch to the other side. So take the left leg back behind you, swivel on that right knee. Begin to lift the torso up and reach the left fingertips straight up to the sky. Now notice, again, that right shoulder is going to want to rotate in. Can you rotate that right shoulder back so that the eye of that right elbow is facing the front wall? Your inhalation is going to reach the left fingertips straight up to the sky. Pause here for a moment. And if you'd like to go to the next phase, you can begin to lift the left leg up as you reach the left fingertips to the front wall. And exhaling, coming back, bringing the left foot down. Inhaling, the left leg goes up, reach the fingertips over. Exhaling, back into your side plank pose. Inhaling, very nice. Exhaling, you may already feel how much integration of the core you're getting here. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time, please. Inhaling, reach. Open that entire left side, lifting that left leg up a little bit higher if you can. And exhale, coming all the way back down. Bringing your left hand all the way back down. And we're going to go back into our child's pose again. Bringing your forehead down. Your back is lengthening, the tailbone lengthening towards the heels. Inhale, feel your back body expand. And exhale, feeling your hips soften. And then you're going to slowly come all the way down on your belly. So lie down on your belly. And I suggest that you stack your fingertips and bring your forehead down onto your stacked fingertips. Now initially just kind of wiggle your hips side to side. That really allows you to soften the low back. Noticing if you tend to squeeze the glutes, just release any of the squeeze, any contraction of the glutes, and let your heels fall away from each other. Just rest here for a moment. Let the shoulders move away from your ears. Let the armpit sink down towards the earth. Take a nice deep breath in. and exhale. This pose is called crocodile pose, and actually it's a slight back bend. If you notice, there's a slight back bend in your upper back, in your thoracic spine, as your armpits are softening towards the earth. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And then keeping your hands exactly where they are, begin to bring your ankles together. They're not going to touch, but I want you to just have the intention of the ankles coming towards each other. What that does is it externally rotates the hips so that your hip bones stay on the ground. And then with your inhalation, begin to lift the right leg up behind you. And imagine you have a Sharpie on your big toe. And I want you to just begin to draw circles with that Sharpie on your right big toe. You can go as big as you want to or as small as you want to, but just make sure that that right hip is staying on the ground. And then you can rotate or draw your Sharpie the other way, draw your circle the other way. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale. And then find the center of that circle and really press the right toes onto that center. So you're really elongating that leg from the hip socket. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, lower. And notice how much longer that side has become. And then with your next inhalation, lift the left leg up. And again, that left hip wants to roll up. Can you bring the left hip down? Keep the left hip down as the inseam of that left leg lifts up. Find the Sharpie on your left big toe and begin to draw circles on this side. You can draw as big circle as you want to, as long as the left hip stays down. And then rotate the other way, so you're drawing circles the other way. And then find the center of the circle and press into that center, lifting the toe up. But think about elongating the leg. Keep the leg nice and energized. Keep the knee straight if you can. Reaching the toe back behind you to the center of that circle. And exhale, lower down. Very nice. So now we're going to move a little bit. Inhaling, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, lower. Inhaling, lifting the left leg up. Exhale, lower. Inhaling, lifting both legs up at the same time. Remember, think about your ankles coming together. And keep your forehead glued to your hands. And begin to lift your chest off the ground. Your elbows going out to the side. Take a nice deep breath in. Think about the crown of your head reaching towards the front wall as your toes reach back behind you. So the height doesn't really matter. I want you to think about the length. Lengthening the spine, lengthening the legs, lengthening the back of the head. Inhaling and exhaling, lower down. Beautiful. Stay here for a few minutes. You can turn your head to one side and just rest. And then turn your head to the other side and rest. I'm bringing your arms behind you so that your arms are in swept back wings. Palms are down. Bring your forehead back down to the earth. Once again, bring your ankles towards each other. Toes are reaching towards the back wall behind you. Soften the shoulders away. So press your hands down. And then lift the shoulder heads off the ground. Bring the shoulder blades down your back. And then with your inhalation, begin to lift the right leg up. Lift the chest up. And maybe the left arm comes up. Left hand comes off the ground. Exhaling, lower everything down at the same time. So make it really meditative. At the top of your inhalation, your left leg comes up. Your chest comes up, your right hand comes up. And at the bottom of your exhalation, everything touches down at the same time. Inhaling, lifting the right leg up, left hand comes up, chest lifts up. Exhaling, lower down. Inhaling, left leg comes up, right arm comes up, chest comes up. And exhale, lower down. One more time on both sides. Inhaling, lift the chest up, right leg comes up, left arm comes up. Exhaling, lower down. Inhaling, left leg up, right arm up, chest lifts up. And exhale, lower all the way down. Inhaling, this time press your hands down, lift both feet off the ground, legs come up, and then maybe the chest begins to come up, and maybe both arms lift up into Shalabhasana, locust pose. Now really think about elongating the spine. Think about the crown of the head reaching towards the front wall as the toes reach back behind you. Make yourself so aerodynamic, lifting the chest up. You can even begin to bring your hands to your thighs and fly open. Inhale. And exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Turn your head to one side and relax. And turn your head to the other side and relax. As you rest here for a moment, I want you to think about, so a lot of times when we think about core strength, we think about the power in our abdominal muscles or the front side body. But these series of movements actually help the core, not just in the front of your body, but also your low back, the side body, so the posterior chain muscles of your low back. I want you to start thinking about core in a way of 360 degrees all the way around. And then also the core stabilizers or the hip stabilizers in your hips. So these series of movements that we did today really help the strength of that entire side. So we're going to do that whole sequence from the top. I want you to, as you inhale, begin to lift your chest up just a little bit, bringing your elbows directly underneath the shoulders. This is called Sphinx pose. So the elbows are 90-degree angle right underneath the shoulder. And as you press down, lift the chest up a little bit just to stretch out the front side. And we're going to come back up onto tabletop pose. So remember, as we came into our tabletop pose, take your right leg back behind you. Inhale, begin to lift the right leg up and maybe reach the left fingertips up into bird pose. Inhale, exhale, lower everything down. Inhaling, left leg goes back up. Lift the left leg up, right fingertips reach up. Inhale, exhale, lower down 2 more times on both sides. Inhaling, right leg goes up. Reaching the left fingertips up, keep the core integrated, hips are square, and lower down. Inhaling, left leg goes up, right arm reaches, shoulders soft away from the ear, and exhale down. One more time, please. Inhaling, right leg up, left fingertips forward, exhale, lower. Inhaling, left leg goes back behind you, right fingertips. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Extend the right leg back behind you once again. Swivel on the left knee. Inhale, reach the right fingertips straight up to the sky. Pause here for a moment. Externally rotate the bottom shoulder so that the eye of the elbow is pointing towards the front wall. Inhale, begin to lift that, float the right leg up as you reach the right arm overhead. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhaling, right leg lifts up, right arm reaches. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right leg lifts up, right arm reaches. Exhale, lower. Bring everything back down to tabletop pose. Swivel on the right knee, and then straighten the back knee behind you. Inhale, lift the left arm all the way up. Exhale, pause here for a moment as you rotate the bottom shoulder away. Inhaling, lifting the left fingertips over your head as you lift the left leg up. Exhale, lower 2 more times. Inhale, very nice. And exhale, 1 more time please. Inhaling and exhaling, coming back to the center. Come all the way down on your belly. Stack your fingertips into crocodile pose first. Let the hips soften. Imagine your hips are like a bowl of water. So you're swishing the water side to side in that bowl. And then inhale, lift the right leg up, right toes reach back behind you. Do the circles with this leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left leg goes up, left toes behind you, circle, circle, circle with your imaginary magic marker. Exhale, lower, very nice. Inhaling, lifting both legs up. Maybe begin to lift the chest up as your forehead stays glued to your fingertips, elbows out to the side. Think about elongating your spine, making your spine longer. Toes reach back behind you as the crown of the head reaches towards the front. Exhale, lower. Very nice. Bring your hands behind you into swept back wings. Palms are down. Press the palms down. Keep the forehead on the ground first. And then inhale, lift the right leg up, just like you did before. Keep that right hip down onto the floor. Lift through the inseam of the right leg. Exhale, lower, lifting the left leg up. Inhale. Keep that left hip on the ground. Exhale, lower. And then begin to lift the right leg up. Maybe lifting the chest up. Maybe lifting the left arm back behind you. Exhale, lower everything down at the same time. Inhaling, right leg goes up. Chest comes up, right arm reaches. Exhale, lower. Good. 2 more times. Inhaling, right leg, left arm, chest lifts. Exhale, lower. Inhaling, left leg, right arm, chest lifts. Exhale, lower. 1 more time, please. Inhaling, right leg, left arm, chest lifts up. Exhale, lower. 1 more time on the other side. And left leg, right arm, chest lifts up. Beautiful. And then exhale, lower. I'm going to lift everything up at the same time. Inhaling, lifting the legs up. Chest comes up. Maybe reach your fingertips back behind you. Inhale. Make your spine so long. And exhale. Lower down. Very nice. Press yourself back into child's pose once again. You can make it a nice easy child's pose with your big toes together, knees wide apart from each other. Maybe you want to stack your fingertips and rest your forehead on your stacked fingertips. And then just rest here for a moment. And feel your breath opening that backside body once again, just like we did at the beginning of the class. Feel the exhalation softening your hips, elongating the tail. And then you're going to slowly come all the way up, cross your ankles, sit back on your heels, and then extend the legs to the front. And again, just like you did in your first week of practice, if you have a blanket, you can always roll up the blanket, put the blanket under your knees, and lie down all the way on your back into your final pose, Shavasana. And as always, when you lie down in your Shavasana, just gently begin to tuck your shoulder blades down the back so that the shoulders and the ears are not connecting, are not meeting, So there's plenty of space in between the shoulders and the ears. And then turn the palms up. As you turn the palms up, the shoulder blades naturally rotate, externally rotating away from each other. And that opens up your whole in front side, your chest, your deltoids, your shoulder muscles opening and relaxing. And let your heels sink into the mat. Let the back of your knees rest comfortably on your blanket. Let your hips soften. And let yourself really feel this moment. Feeling the ground coming up and supporting you. Feeling the back of your skull resting on the floor. And just notice if your chin is jutting out. Maybe draw the chin towards your chest just a little bit so that the back of the neck can be long. And yet let your breath be completely natural. So you're no longer controlling your breath. You're no longer shaping your breath in any way. Let yourself just rest fully and completely in this moment. Close your eyes, let the eyes sink into the socket. Let your tongue be heavy. Let yourself completely rest. And always, in every practice, give yourself a few moments. So, maybe some days it's 2 or 3 minutes of Shavasana. Some days it could be 5, 6, 7, even 10 minutes of Shavasana. Give yourself plenty of time so that you can really rest and allow the poses to integrate in your body so you can feel the changes, feel the shift in your body. And feel free to stay here as long as you like to. If you're ready to continue on with the rest of your day, please begin to inhale through both nostrils, exhale out through the left nostril. Inhale through both nostrils, exhale out through the right nostril. And do that 2 more times on your own, virtually. Inhaling through both nostrils, exhale out through the left. Inhale through both, exhale out through the right. Inhale through both nostrils, exhale out through the left. Inhale through both nostrils, exhale out through the right. And notice which nostril you're breathing out of easier as you draw your knees to your chest. Roll over to that side and just rest for a moment. There's no rush. On your own time, with the strength in your top arm, press yourself to a comfortable seat, your Sukhasana, and sit on the edge of your blanket. If you like, just for a few moments, close your eyes, let the shoulders soften. Putting your left hand on your heart, your right hand on top of your left. As you lift your heart up towards your head, really bow down to yourself, giving yourself love, compassion, appreciation, gratitude for creating the time and space in your busy lives to take care of yourself. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this practice with you and sharing your practice with me. Namaste.